From Rebel Wolves, the new studio founded by the former director of Witcher 3, comes an exciting new AAA dark fantasy RPG, The Blood of Dawnwalker. Set in the devastated world of medieval Europe during the 14th century, this single-player third-person action RPG plunges you into a world ravaged by plague, famine, and social collapse. Developed in Unreal Engine 5, The Blood of Dawnwalker will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. If you're a fan of games like The Witcher 3 and Vampire the Masquerade, this should be at the top of your watch list. But what is this new title that I am talking about? Don't worry, I will get into all of that, but can you help me with pressing that like button on the video? It helps a lot with the algorithm. At the heart of The Blood of Dawnwalker is its innovative narrative sandbox design, seldom seen in AAA titles. The day and night cycle plays a crucial role in the gameplay as well as the aesthetic. You'll find that villages, cities, and landscapes look entirely different under the moonlight. Engage in brutal sword combat by day, and wield vampiric powers at night, from enhanced strength to the ability to manipulate shadows. And the game isn't just about combat, it's about managing time as a resource. Yes, there's a time mechanic. You have 30 in-game days and 30 nights to save your family, and the clock is always ticking. The narrative is driven by choices, and as you move forward, time advances, making your decisions more urgent. From everything I've read and seen so far, The Blood of Dawnwalker looks like a title that will appeal to hardcore RPG fans who enjoy intricate decision-making, rich world-building, and morally complex narratives. If you're someone who loved games like The Witcher 3, or Vampire the Masquerade, or Vampire, this dark fantasy tale is likely right up your alley. The game will have a narrative sandbox, which means things like meeting characters throughout the game with their own goals and ambitions, which may make you friends or put you in opposition to them. Your relationship with other characters will evolve differently depending on your actions. Some may become lifelong allies, others may betray you, some might even die based on the path you take. These choices not only affect the plot, but also alter gameplay challenges and dynamics. The factions you choose to support will impact how you navigate the world. Certain factions may offer different resources, allies, quests, while others may put you at odds with key figures or lead to new unforeseen threats. Unlike most traditional RPGs where the main quest follows a linear path, this game promises to offer branching quests with character-driven stories and consequences that unfold based on the player's choices. Whether you choose to embrace your vampiric powers, align with one faction over another, or decide who to trust, all of these choices can significantly change the narrative. This game promises a dynamic and ever-changing world where no two playthroughs will ever be the same. Replayability is said to be a key part of design. There's also a mechanic called the blood hunger, which will dictate stuff like how often you feed, when you feed, and whom you feed on can have dramatic consequences for your character's relationships and even the ending of the game. It could encourage some level of experimentation, encouraging you to replay the game to explore different outcomes based on your choices. This branching narrative and evolving world obviously invites you to explore alternate scenarios, offering a new experience with each playthrough. Whether you focus on saving your family, embracing the vampire world, or trying to balance both, the game will reward you with multiple paths and endings, making each decision you carry mean far beyond the immediate moment. Story and setting. Set against a medieval backdrop of chaos and despair, The Blood of Dawnwalker brings together history and myth in a world ravaged by the Black Death. Much like the grim world of the Witcher games, vampires seize this opportunity to rise from the shadows, where the existence of supernatural creatures is at odds with the fragile human world. The setting is called Vale Sangora, a dark and haunting world inspired by Eastern European myth, architecture, and culture. You will play as a guy named Cohen, a Dawnwalker caught between the realms of the living and the undead. Vampires are led by Brentsis, a super-powerful old vampire who takes advantage of social turmoil to turn himself into a sort of messianic figure. However, this is one of those morally gray settings. The vampire leadership aren't black and white. They overthrow violent and corrupt feudal lords, but also kill people to eat and conduct blood masses at church. So yeah, Brensis will react to your actions and decisions, and he will set edicts in the game that will become obstacles to the player like military checkpoints. Your actions will directly influence his response, shaping the course of your journey and your relationship with the vampire factions. The Unreal Engine 5 powers the game's visuals, bringing Vale Sangora to life in a stunning detail. From the crumbling ruins of feudal cities to the fog-filled forests, the game's world is designed to be immersive and haunting. The sound design, music, and voice acting sound terrific so far, which is expected from a game with AAA budget, but we will have to wait a bit longer to make a proper judgment. While the game promises to be a unique experience, there are a few potential concerns, and I am definitely excited about it. The ambitious narrative sandbox means that the developers will have to strike a delicate balance in delivering a compelling story while providing the freedom for players to make impactful choices. The time management mechanic might also prove to be tricky for some players. Additionally, with the game still a year away from its full reveal, the developers have a lot of work to do to ensure the gameplay mechanics and world building are polished and immersive. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that it's a game and that's all it is. What do you think of this project? Let me know in the comments. Also, subscribe to the channel if you like what we do, and in the description there will be a link to our new Discord.